Okay, hopefully I started the stream correctly here. As always, give me a second to share the link around. But today we are, this is a good day. Multiverses, after being on hiatus for like a year, returns. Well, not exactly. I mean, I don't think the game's actually going to come back today. We'll probably find out the date for when it comes back. Maybe they'll reveal some characters, but something's supposed to happen in about 20 minutes. So, like I said, let me just share the link around. A few places, and then I'll talk to chat, and we can get excited for whatever this Multiverses news that we're finally getting today actually is. Let's see, let's see. So like I said, just give me a second. I'm just sharing the link a few places, and then I will pay attention to chat, and we can talk about Multiverses and get excited for whatever we're going to get today, whatever that might actually be, because it's not totally clear what we're going to get today. I assume we're getting the date for when the game will actually return. Hopefully not too long of a wait for us here, I would imagine. Computer is going a little slow right now, probably because I have so many things open. But we don't really know even what, like they're not streaming this. We're not sure exactly what this is. So I just have their Twitter page open because that seems to be where I assume we'll get information. That's where they said calling Tony to see Monday morning at 6 a.m. PT. Stay tuned, which is, like I said, about 20 minutes away. I think it's more like 15 minutes away right now. So I think we'll just reload the Twitter page unless it, something pops up somewhere else, and get the information that way. My guess is it's probably gonna be a video of Tony, probably some gameplay, probably explaining either what new stuff is in the game or just giving us a date for when the game will return. Actually, return where we can play it and it goes live again. That is my assumption on what this is going to be. But it's possible we could get a bunch of character reveals. It's possible they could be like, it goes live today. It's back immediately. I'm not expecting that, but I'm expecting more like, here's some gameplay. Game's going to come back at this time, and we'll do a big reveal for the return at this later date. That's my guess, but I don't know. I don't know. All right, almost done sharing the link here, and then I'll pay attention to chat and we can discuss Multiverses. All right. Like I said, my computer's going a little slow right now, which hopefully won't impede us watching whatever it is that they dropped today. All right, boom. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm seeing Scorpion confirmed. I hope we get Beetlejuice. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get character reveals or not. I don't know. Some said Godzilla X Kong reveal. Godzilla just won an Oscar, right? Like I think that new Godzilla movie won an Oscar. I didn't watch the Oscars because there was like 0% chance Will Smith was gonna slap Chris Rock, and that's what I watched the Oscars for. No, but seriously, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get a character reveal. Someone said 11 o'clock EST. I believe it's 9 a.m. It says it right here. So Mike Check was a resounding success, calling Tony to set Monday morning at 6 a.m. PT. Stay tuned, with tune spelled like cartoon. So 6 a.m. PT should be 9 a.m. EST. So, or ET, whatever. ET phone home. So yeah, I'm excited. Here, let me pull this up real quick. This was my quick reminder. When we left Multiverses, we had all this stuff going on, which was just a crazy mess of what was potentially happening behind the scenes. But let me be clear, it's been a year, and those like data mine characters, clearly some of them took a back seat, like Beetlejuice and Wicked Witch, to the leaked characters that they were more working on, like Joker and potentially Samurai Jack and stuff. And then, now we have a year later, so potentially some of the leaked characters may have now been shelved and are taking a seat to some other characters that they, chose to do instead. I think we'll probably get at least some of the leaked characters. Again, I don't know if we're going to see anything today for characters, but you may notice this is a little different than last time. So last time I think I left off with an unknown Cartoon Network character. There is now also an unknown DC character. Not that that's that big of a thing because unknown, like DC Comics has so many characters. Of course we're going to get another one at some point. So not that big of a deal. But yeah, unknown DC character. And then not my information, someone else's information. Two more characters I've heard about from someone else. Same with the Cartoon Network character that was from someone else's information. Someone else who I trust though. So yeah, not can't totally back those up. DC characters from my own sources. So yeah, but I don't plan on like revealing characters anymore or anything like that for this game. Honestly, I'm gonna let this game just relaunch, do its own thing at its own pace. So there you go. But just wanted to let you guys know where I'm at with characters I've heard about. There was also, let's see, what direction do I go in here? Boom. There was my Joker drawing, but again, it's been a year, so enough time that they could totally revamp his look. So if he doesn't look like this, my apologies, but this is what he looked like when I saw him. And then there was this was more like speculative out there stuff, except for the Echo Fighters. So the Echo Fighters might happen if they go through with doing Echo Fighters, or maybe they'll be costumes. We don't really know. There's like this weird in-between for characters like Nubia and Pickle Rick and stuff. And then there was a big list of characters they were potentially going to choose off of at some point, or characters Warner Brothers wanted them to do. And then suggested by random devs is literally what it says. It was just names I know that were brought up by the devs internally in some form. But that could be like water cooler talk. That could be like, we should do more Cartoon Network characters. Yeah, I'd love to do Grimm or Ed, Ed and Eddie. Yeah, that would be cool. But, who knows if they actually ever worked on them or if, whatever. I'm sure just about every name you can think of probably got mentioned at some point, internally in the studio. Clova, $10 donation. Thank you so much. With McDonald's collab launching on the 12th, reportedly, do you think that means anything for the launch of the game? Yeah, it's possible we could hear that right now. We could hear the game returns on the 12th, which is, what, tomorrow? Today's the 11th, right? So yeah, it could return tomorrow, and it could coincide with the McDonald's thing. Also possible they just wanted to do this announcement right before the McDonald's thing, and maybe it'll even be like, the game returns in April, but at least they're saying the game returns in April so that when the McDonald's campaign launches and people are like, what is this game? And they don't go, oh, it's some closed down game no one's heard about for a year. They go, oh, it's a game that comes out in April. It's coming out soon, So that might be the reason for even doing this video today. So, yeah. Someone said I have a nice voice. Thank you. I feel a little hoarse, to be honest, but we'll go back to this. This is like the main thing you should be looking at. That other one's a little more speculative. Besides the Echo Fighters, the Echo Fighters will probably happen in some form, whether skins or otherwise. Yeah. Do I think it's a sponsored thing? I don't know what you mean by sponsored. Like, do you think McDonald's wanted them to come out and say something? I mean, I think it'll be something about the game returning. I'll probably get the date for when the game actually returns. Totally possible we get a character reveal, a CGI trailer. That's also possible. I'm more thinking it's going to be Tony showing some gameplay, talking about, hey, the game went on hiatus a year ago, and this is when it's returning. That's my guess. Was there any mention of Spawn getting in the game? Not that I recall. I have to go through. I have a big document of notes for MultiVersus. I made these images just to keep track of stuff because the game is so crazy. I think I've described it this way. A lot of times the way people think Super Smash Brothers works behind the scenes, they think like Sakurai has this huge list of characters and they're just like pulling stuff. I don't think that's how Smash works behind the scenes, but MultiVersus seemed to actually work that way, where all the devs were suggesting characters and they had just big lists and were half coming up with movesets and half, modeling a character and maybe getting a voice actor in the studio and being like, oh, let's record lines for some other characters we might want to add later. Like there was a lot of that going on. a lot of like, can we talk to that studio and try to get this, or a studio coming to them being like, hey, we'd love to do this, and who knows what'll ever happen though. So it seemed a lot wackier behind the scenes with Multiverses. Um, so very hard to say exactly what's going to happen with it, or if something like you mentioned Spawn, was ever talked about, or is anything happening with that? It's potentially talked about, but I don't remember. I gotta look through my notes to remember every single character. Most of it, I made it the image, and that was most of the characters I heard, besides the ones I have kind of censored here, like the Cartoon Network character and the two unknowns there. Was Ben 10 a part of the original league? Yes, Ben 10 is back over this way in the 60 plus character list, which the thing with Ben 10 was that it's exactly what Tony said, as far as I know, that they would love to do Ben 10, but they want to do Ben 10 justice when they make the character. And I mean, just think about Ben 10. To do the character right, you should probably transform into a bunch of different aliens. That might be kind of tough to make as a character. So, I don't know if they, again, a year has gone by, so who knows what they decided to work on during that year. We'll find out soon, hopefully. But as far as I know, they were like, Ben 10's probably going to take a while. He's going to be a really massive character to do, and they want to do him right whenever they do get around to doing them. So I think they do want to do Ben 10, but I think he'll still probably be a later down the road character. But who knows? Again, they've taken a whole year off, so we will see. Whereas Ronald McDonald, totally possible we get Ronald McDonald or some McDonald's character. They're doing a McDonald's collab thing here. So possible. I don't know. If the Joker revealed, will he be voiced by Mark Hamill? So Mark Hamill did record lines for the Joker, but there's been this whole thing about Mark Hamill wanting to retire doing the Joker, because was it Kevin Conroy is his name, passing, the voice of Batman passing away. However, Kevin Conroy does voice Batman in Multiverses, and I believe Mark Hamill already recorded lines for the Joker. So I don't think Mark Hamill will probably stop them from adding those voice lines. I think he'd probably consider that recorded during their time together. Him and Kevin Conroy voicing Joker and Batman. So probably, yeah, I'd say probably Mark Hamill. They definitely recorded voice lines. Or people are asking about Ronald McDonald. We also have, so this is a crazy story I'll tell you guys. I put it on Twitter, but I don't know if people here know it. So Daniel Ross does the voice of Stripe, I think Gizmo, and I think, is it Shagworthy? Is that Shaggy's like cousin, or Shagworth, or Shagworthy? He does the voices of the characters in this game. A couple of weeks ago, like maybe like a month ago at this point, 3 weeks to a month ago, I went to a mall that's about an hour away from me, was just walking around, went in this random store, and Daniel Ross was there signing autographs. So I met Daniel Ross, who voices characters in Multiverses, talked for a little bit. Totally cool guy. Obviously, he couldn't tell me anything, about Multiverses because he's, signed up to NDA and everything like that. Besides, having fun voicing characters and stuff. He couldn't tell me anything about, returning or anything further like that. But he does voice Grimace. He's the voice of Grimace right now. So there's this McDonald's collab happening with Multiverses, and they already have a voice actor who voices a McDonald's character. So yeah, maybe Grimace could get in Multiverses. I don't know. Do we know when Multiverses announcement is happening today? Yes, 5 minutes here, 9 a.m. EST or 6 a.m. PT. But we don't know what it is. Like, I'm assuming it's going to be a tweet over here, but we really don't know. Is it going to be a video? Is it just going to be a tweet that says, like, hey, Tony here, Multiverses returns, March 20th or something? Like, I don't know. So we will see. 4 minutes here. I'm just going to keep reloading Twitter once it becomes 9 a.m. Wait, why is SpongeBob in limbo? So the thing with SpongeBob, which was really strange, but this is what I heard from a source that's been totally accurate with everything. So supposedly, when Multiverses first came out, is it Paramount that owns Nickelodeon? It was either I think it's Paramount is the company that owns Nickelodeon. Paramount, or I'll just say Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon contacted MultiVersus and told them that it would be cool if they added SpongeBob. That they'd love for them to add SpongeBob to MultiVersus. Probably Nickelodeon wanting, SpongeBob to be right alongside Bugs Bunny is like this. It's a big cartoon crossover. They got Scooby-Doo, they got Bugs Bunny, they got SpongeBob, So they said it'd be cool if they used SpongeBob. The MultiVersus team, I don't know if they ever went any further with that. They've just been told it'd be cool if they used it. They're Paramount would be cool with them using it. Nickelodeon would be cool with them using it, using SpongeBob. But I don't know if anything ever went further with that. But that's what happened there. I know the MultiVersus team was kind of like, ooh, do we want to step on the toes of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl and have SpongeBob here? But that's where SpongeBob came from. I made a really long live stream video about a year ago. You can look through my old videos. I don't remember what the video is called. I think it's got a picture of Mordecai and the Powerpuff Girls. I think it's blue, the thumbnail. If you look through my old live streams, you should be able to find it. It should be a long video, 2 or 3 hours long. And I go over all this. I go over every single thing I heard from MultiVersus. Since the game was going on hiatus, I was just like, I'm just going to show my hand. Here's everything I heard. Now that it's returning, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to be much more just like, if I hear stuff, I'm going to keep it to myself. Maybe hint a little bit at something. Maybe steer speculation in the right direction. But I'm not going to just show my hand and talk about everything. That's not what I wanted to do initially anyway. The only reason why I really did this was because I had heard MultiVersus was going to have a character reveal at the Game Awards, heard it was going to be the Joker. That didn't happen, so I ended up having to be like, okay, well, the character I heard was the Joker. Then data mines like a week or two later were like, yeah, the next character is the Joker. I just wanted to prove I had, I wasn't lying about the Game Awards thing. So I also drew the picture of the Joker that I saw, which was this picture here. And then, but of course the game's been on hiatus, so who knows if the Joker will still look like this now. They have a whole year to work on it. And then the game didn't do anything for like 2 months, and then it went on break. So when it went on break, I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to tell you guys everything I've heard. All the characters I've heard, everything, because a whole year from now, they could change anything, any character they're planning on doing, they could shelve and do something else, blah, blah, blah. So that's the only reason why I showed like everything I had heard. Now that it's returning, it can return on its own terms. They can put everything out. But my initial plan was just to do little like hinty things like, I heard the Game Awards is going to have a character. Maybe hint at the Joker. Maybe steer speculation in the right idea for characters like Marceline and Samurai Jack. Throw those out there as possibilities. Throw out Harry Potter as a possibility. Because I actually heard it. But, so now that it's back, I'll probably do little things like that. Maybe just be like, hey, here's like 5 characters it might be. And maybe one of them is a character I've actually heard. But I'm not just going to say everything I heard anymore. Because that wasn't my plan from the start anyway. I only did it because the game stopped. All right, 9 a.m. Boom. Start reloading. Ooh. I saw May 28th or March 28th. It was M something 28th. I don't know why I hit reload again just assuming it wasn't going to be there. All right. Pause. Mic check, MVP's rapid netcode, updated game engine, Unreal 5'd. I had actually heard that. Tony, ready, hashtag MultiVersus, launch date May 28th. Wow, okay, March, April, May. So we still got a while. All right. It really is May 28th. All right, I'm gonna full screen this. And then I gotta move the screen behind me here. Wow. Okay, we still got quite a wait, but at least we're hearing news. Okay.
Everybody settle, please.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get to work.
Okay, ready to roll?
Hope you guys can hear it.
Sound.
Quiet.
Camera.
Scene 1, take 1, mark.
Camera set. And
Action. Hi everyone, I'm Tony, game director of MultiVersus and co-founder of Player First Games. I'm excited to share that our free-to-play platform fighter, MultiVersus, is launching on May 28th.
I am freaking confident!
The team has heard your feedback, and we've learned a lot from our open beta. We've been hard at work, and we'd like to give you a sneak peek of what we've been up to.
Is the volume low?
From
Sorry.
day one, we set out to make a game that not only...
I'll turn the volume way up because I'm not gonna be talking much anyway, so I'll turn the volume way up.
packs a punch, but makes a mark on the game genre we love.
Yeah, sorry, my computer's like chugging right now for whatever reason. It's very slow.
Here at PFG, it's always been our aspiration to make a platform fighter that you'll love as much as we do. We've been working hard on a variety of changes and updates to deliver an improved gameplay experience, so let's get into it. A core aspect of Multiverses is our wealth of iconic characters in the game.
Any new
With
characters?
fun-filled competition set against the backdrop of reimagined universes and environments.
Yeah, it's very
So I'm
laggy,
happy
but
to
I
say
assure you it's
we'll
just
be
my
adding some
stream is
really
laggy.
exciting
Their video is
brand new
not laggy.
personalities to the roster, along with more stages from worlds
Ooh.
we've yet to explore.
Another foe
Alright, so
for
there's some
me
concept
to
art.
crush.
For
We
some new
moved to Unreal
stages.
Engine 5, which will improve the game's visuals and character lighting. So in other words, Shaggy sandwiches have never looked better.
Pastrami on ride!
Yes, they switched to Unreal 5. That's pretty cool.
We've rebuilt the game from the ground up to support our new netcode, to provide consistent, world-class online play. So every hit, dodge, and battering will be delivered with pinpoint accuracy. There'll be consistent game performance no matter what platform you're playing on. There'll be new attacks and combat mechanics for each character, putting more skill expression in your hands. We honestly can't wait to see what you come up with.
The balance of power is restored.
One of the things we're most excited to announce is a brand new PvE mode that'll offer a new way to play outside of competitive PvP. This new mode will introduce additional ways of playing with unique rewards.
I'm ready for more.
Lastly, we're thrilled to announce that we'll soon be launching the Illudium Q36 explosive space modulator that'll destroy the Earth once and for all.
Marvin, stop hacking the
Your
teleprompter.
gadgets mean nothing, Earthman.
Take 3.
I love all the
This is a small glimpse of what we have in
soul
store
from
for
all the
Multiverses.
characters in the game that
We'll
they
be sharing a
add
lot
everywhere.
more
Every characters
details in the
interact
coming
is so
weeks.
huge. I really wish Smash had that.
From all of us at Player First Games and Warner
Stuff like
Brothers
Marvin
Games,
taking over the
we cannot
streaming is
wait to
funny.
play Multiverses with you on May 28th. Until then,
The end.
guys, I wasn't done.
Sorry, Doc.
He wasn't done? Is there more, or is he done? Oh, he is done. Okay, that's kind of weird. Someone said, I saw Townsville and Dexter's Life. Yeah, let's take a look at those concept art, because that's basically the only new things that we saw. I think it was right after this. Somewhere here. So let's see. Boom. All right. Townsville Hall. Yep. Okay. So that pretty much confirms Powerpuff Girls right there. If there was, oops, clicking the wrong stuff here. If there's any doubt about Powerpuff Girls happening, boom, right there in my leaked characters down there. But yes, yeah, Powerpuff Girls almost certainly happening here. Because we have a Townsville stage. Very cool looking. And let's see, what's the next one? Yeah, there's Dee Dee. Yeah, it was Dexter's Lab. I saw this and I was just like, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like, I don't know, Brainiac Superman stage or something, but no, yeah, Dexter's Lab. Oh, there's Monkey. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Awesome. People said, real upset, no characters. I mean, yeah, no characters, and we have quite the wait. May is still a while, but hey, at least this happened. At least we now have a return date, and it's very possible from now until May 28th, they could do character reveals. They could slowly get, like, they can do marketing, up until the game comes out. It's kind of like, I mean, that's like my favorite time for Smash, honestly, is when they've announced Smash, like that E3 that had everyone was here in between when we got Smash. Like, so that could be, the next couple months here for Multiverses, which is pretty darn exciting. They didn't show a trailer with new characters. No, they did not, but they did show concept art for a Dexter's Lab stage and concept art for a Powerpuff Girls stage. So Powerpuff Girls and Dexter, big time old school Cartoon Network characters. Very awesome to get them. Almost certainly as characters, given that they just showed these stages. Some said I was really banking on an early April release. Yeah, I was kind of hoping it would be this month or April as well. I kind of thought with this announcement it would be April, but you know what? I can do May. I know it's like end of May. It's like a while, but I would really rather them. I've said this since the game went on hiatus. I would rather them get a bunch of stuff ready so that launch is really strong and they have like a year's worth of content already made. So when the game comes out, you know, the battle pass, the skins, the character releases, the stage releases are all just things they have in their pocket ready to go, and everything they're working on is for like a year later, and then the game thrives because it just keeps going, and we don't have to be like, what's going on? Why isn't a character happen? They used to do a character like every other week. Why is there like nothing happening for 3 months? It'll just be this nice steady flow of content, and that's really the power of this game. I feel like if it's a never-ending Smash Brothers, if it's like Smash Ultimate instead of fighter passes, it was just a live service game that just kept going. You know, that's kind of what we're trying here with MultiVersus, and to do that, you need that backlog of content ready to go. I feel like so, yeah. Who's betting that David Zaslav will cancel the game? I hope not. I mean, what was it? WB Games came out and said something about how live service games are like what they want to do. They want to push, which was like really ironically strange because their live service games like Suicide Squad didn't do that good, and yet Hogwarts Legacy was like the most sold game of the year last year, wasn't a live service game, and their like their feedback from that, or the way, you know, the CEOs and corporate people look at that is, oh, we made the wrong one a live service game. We should have made the Harry Potter game a live service game. That would have sold more, which I think it probably would have, but like I think Hogwarts Legacy would have done good whether a live service game or a one-player game, whatever. But like, you'd think their takeaway would be, yeah, traditional games still sell very well. We had the most sold game of the year in Hogwarts Legacy. Let's just continue to do games like that. Trying to do these live service games isn't really working out for us. MultiVersus shut down. Suicide Squad not doing so hot. But hopefully MultiVersus comes back and does well. So I don't think David Zaslav or the WB higher-up CEO people will cancel MultiVersus because I think they really want a powerful live service game. I think they're trying to make one. MultiVersus could be it. So I think they will fund the game to try to make it happen. Why would they show these stages before the characters? Ruin the hype for the character reveals. Yeah, that's a little strange. I mean, it doesn't guarantee we're getting Powerpuff Girls and Dexter, but I mean, probably, right? Powerpuff Girls were already leaked last year. So pretty likely that is what we're getting, you know, as characters. So yeah, I kind of agree. It does kind of kill the hype. So hopefully they have lots of characters and they're not too worried about revealing you know, characters in this way. It would have been nice if instead of just concept art for the stages, they had shown concept art for Powerpuff Girls and Dexter. And then it would have been like, okay, we got 2 characters revealed, their stages revealed, and we'll see what else we get when we get there, you know? So it was Johnny Bravo leaked. So part of the original leak for the game had a list of characters that included Johnny Bravo and Fred Flintstone, but from what I've heard, that original leak, while it was true there was a WB platform fighting game coming out, which is MultiVersus. It was like a year before MultiVersus first came out. What I heard internally was some of the characters on that list were just totally wrong. Not characters they ever really planned on making. Johnny Bravo was on that list. So I wouldn't count on Johnny Bravo happening anytime soon. He's definitely a possibility, and I think because of that original list, they maybe could be like, yeah, that'd be a cool character. People seem to be expecting him or wanting him, talking about him. But no, that leak was like half true, half false. It's a weird one. Powerpuff Girls and Dexter are hype though. Gives me hope for Blue. Yeah, Blue from Foster's would be really sweet. Was Dexter the mysterious Cartoon Network character you teased? No, Dexter is not. Dexter is news to me, actually. So pretty exciting to see this, which is also why when I saw this, I didn't instantly think Dexter's Lab. It came by. I saw the, you know, Townsville, and I was like, yup. And then I saw this, and in my mind, I thought it was like a Brainiac stage for Superman or something, or some sciencey guy. Not that I think Brainiac's in the game or anything. Just that I was like, okay, some sort of sciencey stage, and then something else. And it was only when you guys in chat started saying Dexter's Lab, that I was like, oh, it's a Dexter's Lab stage. Looking at it now, I see Monkey, I see the no DD alert stuff going on here. But no, that wasn't initially what popped in my mind, because no, I hadn't heard about Dexter. Omelette du fromage, tante. Omelette du fromage. I hope Dexter has his average costume when he wears what he wore before he before he was a scientist, before he got his like lab coat stuff. He wears like this, it's like a pink like baby costume, and he goes and hangs out with average kids, and they just call him Piglet because he looks like a pig in this costume. That's the Dexter costume I want. Are Rick and Morty getting new voices? I don't know. I would assume so. I mean, they got new voice actors for the actual Rick and Morty show. Justin Roiland, I don't think ever recorded lines for Multiverses. I think they just used lines from the show. So to call in the new voice actors, who's forgive me, I don't know the name of the new Rick and Morty voice actors. I saw their names at some point, but I don't know them by heart now. I'm sure they'll probably call them in probably to do lines that actually interact with the characters. And by the way, the people they got for Rick and Morty's replacement voice actors, phenomenal. If I didn't know that the voice actor changed, I don't think I would have caught it. Morty sounded a little different at first, but by that final episode, the one with the hole in the it's like a Denny's bathroom or something, the fear hole episode. By that episode, Morty sounded perfect. I wouldn't know that they changed the voice actor if he didn't tell me. Nakat is teasing Powerpuff Girls and Dexter on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, obviously. Is Walter White in this? I don't know, man. Walter White, I love Breaking Bad. Don't get me wrong. I love Breaking Bad. Love Better Call Saul. Watched through them multiple times. But I know there is a thing with he's a meth dealer. That's his thing. And if you put him in a game like this, you might have other games or other companies and things not wanting their character to interact. For instance, I talked about Paramount and SpongeBob, saying that it would be cool if Multiverses used SpongeBob. They might be like, I don't know if we want SpongeBob interacting with Walter White, and pull it. I don't know, maybe not. So it's a little, and someone said, doesn't Sony own Breaking Bad? Yeah, Breaking Bad is not WB either. It would be I think a guest character. Though they've said, they're cool with anything. While it's primarily a WB game, they're cool with anything. That would be a third-party Multiverses character. Yeah, Breaking Bad's great. If you haven't watched Breaking Bad, it's really good. I held off watching it for years. I watched it way after the fact, just because I wasn't that... I love Malcolm in the Middle, so I like Bryan Cranston, but... I'm not I don't know, drugs and cartel stuff, just not my, not anything I'm even remotely interested in. But the show is extremely good, regardless of that. It really pulls you in. So I ended up watching it and loved it. And then I watched Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul had already started when I watched Breaking Bad. So I watched the second half of seasons of Better Call Saul as those were coming out live. But yeah, chance of Tom from Toonami would be awesome. I'd be all about Tom from Toonami. That would be great. He's one of those characters I'd potentially main. I really like Tom from Toonami. Powerpuff Girls and Dexter were confirmed. Yep. Yeah, I mean, we got concept art for Dexter's Lab, and then concept art for Townsville. Stages. So yeah, I mean, Powerpuff Girls and Dexter, pretty clear they're gonna happen if we got their stages coming, or at least a character from Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Lab. I assume the character would be Dexter and the Powerpuff Girls. That's who I would choose. But yeah. On the topic of voice actors, do I think Batman will be recast due to Kevin Conroy's passing? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they have a bunch of voice lines from him already. I'm sure they'll leave those in, but it's possible they could do, there's different skins and stuff of all these characters. Maybe they'll do a different Batman skin and do the voice actor of whatever that Batman skin is from or whatever. I don't really know other Batman voice actors that well off the top of my head. Like, I know Adam West has passed away already, but, you know, if they did an Adam West one, you'd call it Adam West, something like that. Maybe they could do, you know, whatever. If they do Christian Bale Batman, maybe they get Christian Bale a voice. So I don't know. I'd love to get, yeah, Batman Beyond would be great. Terry would be awesome to get. But we shall see. Yeah, but you could still. I think they'll probably keep Batman, but we have Batman the animated series, Batman with, you know, Kevin Conroy's voice. So let's leave that. Joker, I believe they've already recorded Mark Hamill's voice. Hopefully Mark Hamill's cool with them using it still. I assume he will be because it was recorded, you know, prior to the death of Kevin Conroy. So I think Mark Hamill, when he said he doesn't want to play Joker without Kevin Conroy anymore, he was talking about future recordings, not necessarily stuff he'd already recorded for, would be my guess. So yeah, I imagine that they'll not exactly recast Batman's voice. I think they'll keep Kevin Conroy's voice, but they may add new voice lines with other voice actors, probably promoting new skins and stuff for Batman. That's the way I would go about doing it. Hyper realistic 1980s Tim Burton Batman. Yeah, you could get Michael Keaton for that. Michael Keaton could come in for Beetlejuice too. Yeah, Batman Beyond would be awesome. Yeah, Terry would be really awesome. I'd be down with that. That would be really cool. I wish they'd do a Batman Beyond something. There was like concept art for a Batman Beyond movie made by the people who did Beyond the Spider-Verse, like that, the Miles Morales Spider-Man cartoon movies, which looked awesome. I'd be all about that. So yeah, you know what I've always wanted to do is do a Batman Beyond live action movie and have Mark Hamill play a live action older Joker and maybe get Michael Keaton to play old Batman. Like, that would be really cool. I would love to see live action Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill get to do the Joker in live action. I know he said he's kind of retired the character now. He said he's retired the character many times in the past, but he said he's kind of retired the character now because of Kevin Conroy's passing. But that's something I've wanted for a long time was Mark Hamill play live action Joker. Because, yeah, he's older, but if you did Batman Beyond, you could make it work. Clova, $5 donation. Thank you so much. Morty had a new dash attack at 147 after they mentioned new combat mechanics too. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this game also, like, you could slot in new moves and stuff like that, and it always seemed like they were going to just continually make new attacks for characters that you would eventually earn and, you know, be able to change the playstyle of the characters, new special attacks and stuff like that. What are they called? Perks? I can't remember what the game called them. So that was always a cool thing about Multiverses as well, is that it didn't shy away from the character creation or changing the movesets up. It's weird. There was something that Smash 4 did. Smash 4 had changeable special attacks, and then they like got rid of it for Smash Ultimate, and nobody really used it in Smash. It was kind of like, people said it was like broken, or you could kind of like make the characters broken or something. I never really played around with it that much either. The thing that I thought was weird with it though was that they made the attacks look totally different and have completely different effects and stuff, and they made new special attacks, you know, multiple new special attacks for every single character in Smash 4 as part of that. And then in Smash Ultimate, when they went and did Echo Fighters, so many of them are barely even different. And I was like, it clearly doesn't take that long to change up every single one of those special attacks to have different properties and be a little different. Because they made like 4+ of each special attack for each character in Smash 4 to have alternate versions. So I thought it was so weird that Echo Fighters are often so similar to like Peach and Daisy. And it's like, you know, it's about saving time, but it's like, yeah, but you, in Smash 4, Peach had a ton of different special attacks for that customizable attack thing. You couldn't have given Daisy 4 of those different special attacks just to make her different? Like, I don't know. I always thought it was weird. Samus and Dark Samus being exactly the same. Yeah, exactly. And then, yeah, again, go look at Samus in Smash 4 and look at all those customizable B moves, those customizable special attacks. Take 4 of those, stick them on Dark Samus. The properties are different. It looks different. There you go. You just made a better Echo Fighter. I don't know why that didn't happen. I always thought that was really, really weird. No, like, they don't need to do customizable special attack moves. Like, if that was a Smash 4 thing and they decided people weren't that into it, because admittedly, I didn't use it that much, and I don't think tournament play ever really got into it, and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. I don't mind dropping that for Smash. But But to not give the Echo Fighters different special attacks when it's really clear it must be easy to just change up a special attack slightly with different properties because they did it about 1,000,000 times in Smash 4. So weird that some of the Echo Fighters don't have that. Someone's hoping for Raven and Ruby. Yeah, I definitely think, especially with Powerpuff Girls being confirmed here. Obviously, Dexter is a surprise. Like I said, Dexter was not the Cartoon Network mystery character that I was talking about. It was not Dexter. That was someone else. But to get Dexter here and Powerpuff Girls shows that, yeah, I think we probably will. Like, Samurai Jack's probably still very likely. Marceline and the Joker. I definitely think this little group right here of lead characters are very likely to still be happening. It's possible maybe 1 or 2 of them, they may have been like, okay, let's shelve that and do it later. Kind of like what happened with Beetlejuice and Wicked Witch. And maybe some of these, like Raven, Beetlejuice, Wicked Witch, some of these from here might end up being characters we actually end up getting. Maybe some new stuff like Dexter that we're not expecting at all. Could definitely happen. But I do think we'll probably see at least some of these characters close to launch. And again, I also think they may be getting a backlog ready. So even if let's say they do have Samurai Jack totally done and finished, but they save him for 6 months later. He's going to be in the Battle Pass 6 months after the game launches because they haven't finished, but they want to sit on a backlog of things to roll out. So that's a possibility too. So they definitely want Daffy Duck to be in the game. Yeah, I think we'll get more Looney Tunes characters for sure. Daffy Duck is probably very high on the list of likely characters to happen. They even kind of teased Daffy a bit. In one of the tweets said something that sounded like Duck Dodgers, actually, to be honest. So over here, they were between Daffy and Wile E. Coyote. Player First Games is leaning towards Daffy. These were characters from like a big list or characters WB suggested. So it seems like they'll probably do Daffy at some point. I could see Daffy being a relaunch character or close to it, just because he's such a core Looney Tunes character. Also with Wile E. Coyote, unfortunately, that movie, was it Coyote versus Acme or whatever? Terrible what's happening with that movie. But I could see maybe the idea might have initially been like, oh, it's between Daffy and Wile E. Coyote because maybe we want Wile E. Coyote out to promote that movie, but now that movie's not happening. There might not be as big of a rush to get Wile E. Coyote in the game. More Cartoon Network reps. Ed, Nettie, Courage, Billy and Mandy, Chowder, Foster's. Yeah, I'm also thinking more Cartoon Network would be awesome to get in this game. If this had just been a Cartoon Network fighting game, I'd almost be maybe more into it. Not that, like, that's a weird thing to say. I don't know if I'd be more into it, but I really like Cartoon Network stuff. If every character that was coming out for this game and everything that was coming out for this game was Punch Time Explosion, Cartoon Network, I'd be pretty darn excited. Not that I mind the other stuff being here. I like that stuff too. A lot of the stuff I really like as well. It's just when you have a bigger pool of characters, you have to wait longer. But yeah, Cartoon Network stuff is always going to be extremely exciting for me as well. I think it's some of the best stuff they have to pull from. Cow and Chicken are the red guy. Oh man, cartoons were weird. Cartoons were weird back in the day. Master Shake, yeah, I'd love some Adult Swim stuff. I mean, we have Rick and Morty, so Adult Swim stuff is definitely there. I'm just going to pull it back over to Dexter's stage, just changing up what are the 2 new things we're looking at here. Yeah. Oh, they have a new banner on Twitter. All right, let's take a look at the new banner here. All right. Back down, reload the page. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Let's take a look at the banner. All right, it says Multiverses up here. They got the WB Water Tower. So obviously, could be Animaniacs, but we knew there's a stage coming with WB. But I had heard, I don't know, again, they could change anything. I heard it had Pinky and the Brain balloons on it, and the Warner Brothers came out of the water tower every once in a while, which did not deconfirm them as potential characters. So we got... Oh my god! Whoa! Okay, all right. Remember what I said? I said Pinky and the Brain balloons. I just said that and then moved it over. I didn't even see it. And I said that is in my old video. Yeah, so they have, there's a I don't know if it's Wacko or Yakko because they're blown up, but there's a balloon. Wacko also there. I don't see. Yeah, that's Yakko because he doesn't have the hat. But anyway, there's the brain as a balloon. See the brain as a balloon? That's what I said. You can go watch my really long, hour-long video where I said the water tower stage has Pinky and the Brain as like hot air balloons. I literally said that. Boom, there you go. So that confirms that stage. And then there's like I think this might be Townsville over here because it looks like the mayor. I'm trying to look at what that flag is, if it's even anything. Top right. So yeah, definitely an Animaniacs themed stage at least, with the water tower. So Animaniacs theme stage, Dexter's Lab theme stage, Powerpuff Girls theme stage, Freakazoid, that'd be sweet. All right, and then otherwise new renders for all the characters. I mean, these are all new images of these characters. I mean, there's one big new image, but all new images of these characters. Is the last Cartoon Network character you said you knew last year Dexter? No, it is not Dexter. It was someone else. Which again, I don't know if they've shelved that character, been like, let's do Dexter instead, or both are happening. I do not know, but I had heard a different Cartoon Network character as that final one that I didn't put up there. Yeah. All right. So what else can we gather from here? There's like I gotta look like really close to see. I cannot tell what's on that sign. Maybe a bicycle. Trying to see what's on this little sign right here. Back over to this side. And the flag, I think, is too small for me to tell what is on it. It might say Townsville Hall. Something. I feel like I gotta take this into like Photoshop and like change the I forget what they call it. So when you like convert it to black and white and you can like change everything, sometimes you can read and see stuff better. Shaggy has white eyes. Oh yeah, he does have white eyes. Yeah, he used to just have the dot. Any Godzilla news? No Godzilla news. Yeah, Yakko balloon and a brain balloon, which I talked about the brain balloon being on the water tower stage. I had mentioned that. I mentioned that there were Pinky and the Brain balloons. Yeah, quick, somebody unblur the image. Yeah, I'm trying to see what we can gather from within these things. Here, hold on a second. I have the technology. All right. What do I want to do? I mean, I could just try the straight up unblur thingy. It could be two of the Animaniacs' faces. It could be a bicycle. I really don't know. Let me move this a little bit. Okay. Go back over here. Yeah, I think the flag's probably... I think it's too hard to tell what that flag is of. We might be able to see... It might just be nonsense. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, that's the same sign. This is the same sign. Might be 3 Animaniacs on this side, and then a big circle of something else. I think that's the same exact sign that's over here, or similar. No, it's a little different actually. Someone said that's Samurai Jack. Where are you seeing Samurai Jack? I don't see no Samurai Jack. This is just Iron Giant's arm. There's not much in the middle here besides the characters. Can I tell you if the Cartoon Network rep I heard was old school or modern? See, the thing with the Cartoon Network rep that I heard, the thing with this is that so these two and the Cartoon Network rep are not from me. They're from someone else. Someone else I trust, but it's not me hearing it from a source. It's someone else who has their own sources who told me what they heard. A lot of their stuff had lined up with the stuff that I had heard. Like a lot of their stuff lined up with this stuff. But they had heard some other stuff. And so it's not really for me to say. I'm just letting you know that I've heard them, but not going into any detail. The DC thing is from my own source, but the DC thing, it's literally just that during the last, over the last year break, they worked on a DC character. It seems pretty obvious to me. A DC character other than like Joker or whatever, other than ones that we know of, even of the Datamine characters, so some other DC character. But obviously we're getting another DC character at some point. So, and obviously we're getting another Cartoon Network character at some point. So it's kind of a whatever leak. But yeah, it is a specific character. This Cartoon Network character. And I don't want to say if it's like 90s Cartoon Network or more modern Cartoon Network. Just because it's not mine. It's not mine to give out. Yeah, regular show characters would be awesome. I did hear Mordecai was being worked on. I heard that they were between Mordecai and Rigby, or potentially doing them together, and chose Mordecai alone as what they wanted to do. So yeah. Yeah, Teen Titans Robin would be cool. The cool thing with Robin is that if they do Robin, you can do Batman animated series Robin, then you can do a Teen Titans skin Robin. I don't know what the default skin for Robin would look like, but obviously he'd fit in so well because he could bridge the gap, especially if they do add Raven at some point. He could bridge the gap between the Batman stuff and the Teen Titans stuff and be kind of part of both, which would be cool. So, bro, you've literally leaked everything else. Why don't you say it? I explained why I can't say it. I don't know if you wrote that before I explained it, but it's because the Cartoon Network rep and these two are from someone else's information. So I don't feel like it's on me to say who they are. If that other person wants to come out and say them, then that is up to them to do so. If they ever do, I'll back it and be like, yes, this is the other person. These are the ones that they did. That they've now said it publicly. So I will I'll come clean if they decide to do it. Give us a hint on something. Anything on Gumball characters? Yeah, I can't say anything. Animaniacs, bro. Yeah, Animaniacs stage. Which I did say there was a water tower stage, and I was saying there's Animaniacs stuff on it. Specifically, what I said was on it was a Pinky in the Brain, like a hot air balloon. And there is the brain balloon right there. So, yep. But that also what I had heard with the water cooler stage was that they weren't necessarily making the Animaniacs yet, but they were making a stage that had Animaniacs stuff on it. So with that in mind, with Dexter and Powerpuff Girls, it is possible we get like a Dexter's Lab stage, but not Dexter yet. If that's what they're doing with Animaniacs. I do think this pretty much means down the road, Animaniacs will happen, Dexter will happen. Dexter could happen right at relaunch, who knows? But just that stages could come out that don't necessarily have a character immediately attached to them. However, Powerpuff Girls, since they're already leaked, and we're getting Town Hall stage, definitely Powerpuff Girls. And a good chance at Dexter and Water Tower stage, eventual Animaniacs feels very likely to me. Rick and Morty got a stage before they were in the game. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Though I don't think they would add a stage for any characters that they don't plan on adding in the semi-near future. I'd be surprised if like a whole year went by without getting a character for a stage that they dropped. Maybe Animaniacs, only because that WB water tower is so iconic to Warner Brothers that it feels like it needs to be in this game. But you might want to hold off on Animaniacs just because you're holding off on Animaniacs, but you don't want to do the water tower as a stage without referencing Animaniacs. So I could see that maybe being the one stage that maybe Animaniacs is quite a ways down the line still. If you knows, Camp Lazlo would be cool. Yeah, I'm always been more of a Rocco guy. I love Rocco. Camp Lazlo, it's weird. It has its moments. I really didn't like how many twin characters it has. I always find twin characters kind of lazy in shows when they have a character and then their whole shtick is that there's another character that looks just like them, or they're always together, or they're twins. Camp Lazlo has like 5 sets of twin characters. There's like 2 of these guys, and there's like 4 of these guys, and like there's a group of 3 of these. Like, it's weird. It's this weird copy paste thing. I don't really care for it, and they do it a lot in Camp Lazlo, which is kind of weird. But I did love this one joke where the I don't remember the name of the character. It's like the duck-looking guy, the platypus duck guy. I don't know if he's platypus or a duck. He's talking about like background characters. He says something about like he just like grabs this random guy and he's like, this guy doesn't even have a name. And I just thought it was a really funny joke on background characters in shows. So I thought that was funny. Did we talk about Brain on the top right? Yes. Yeah, I mentioned Brain, and I mentioned you can go watch. I'm sure I talked about it at some point in my very long, a year ago, live stream where I talked about everything I heard from Multiverses, that when I was talking about the WB Water Tower stage, I mentioned that it has Animaniacs stuff on it, and that one of the things I knew for sure was on it, or that I had, whatever knew about, was a Pinky and the Brain have like hot air balloons that float up. Boom, there you go. We have the Pinky and the Brain balloon right there. I talked about this a year ago. You can go, it's somewhere in my videos. You have to go dig for it. Maybe I'll go dig for it and try to pull up the clip at some point just so I can show that exists. But yes, I did talk about it. Yes, I did know that Heifer was supposed to be at the end of Camp Lazlo. Yeah, I maybe was a little too negative on Camp Lazlo. I did like the show. Like, it was a totally fine show. I just never got that into it. Whereas Rocco, I was like, oh, I love Rocco. I was really into that show. Camp Lazlo was just a show I just like pop on now and then. I was really excited for it when it was coming out because it was by what's the guy? Is it Murray? Is his name Murray? Something like that. The guy who did Rocco. So I was excited for it initially, and then the show was just kind of it was okay. So yeah, Dexter's Lab because new stage. Joe Murray. Okay, I got the Murray. I got the Murray part. So yeah, exciting stuff. How is Courage not in this game? Yeah, I'd love to get Courage. Someone else said I'm home for Gumball, Darwin, and Richard. Yeah, I mean, there's so much. Like I said, you could make the whole game Cartoon Network, and it would be exciting, and there'd be a ton to add. So yeah, I'm still hoping we get Lord of the Rings stuff back. How likely do I think 11 is now? Stranger Things rep would be a dream come true. Oh man, that's a tough one. So what I had heard was that the 11 stuff that was found in the game files was from them pitching the game around. So I think they at one point pitched it to Netflix, I guess, or something like that. So it was from when they were pitching the game around. So probably no plans to actually add 11 into the game when people found the data mine and stuff. At this point, though, people have now talked about it. And I kind of said this earlier about the Johnny Bravo thing. Even if the leak is like not totally true or not what they're planning on doing, because people have talked about it now, and people are like it's within the characters people want for Multiverses, like that character may happen eventually now, because the Multiverses team seems open to hearing about fan feedback and stuff like that. So maybe they'll go to Netflix and try to get 11. I mean, Stranger Things, I heard it's going to take, the other day I heard it's like still 9 months away from finishing filming the final season. So they have 9 months to film the final season. Then post-production, marketing, all that. I mean, I don't think we're going to get it till 2026, maybe 2020, like end of 2025. Probably more like early 2026. it'll still be pretty relevant for a while now. So totally possible they could do some cross promotion thing with 11 around the time of that final season or in the build up to that final season or something. Would be a cool character. So I would suggest if there are enough Stranger Things fans out there who cross over with Multiverses, keep pushing for 11. Just be loud about it on Twitter and with your fan base and stuff like that. And the Multiverses team seems actively taking fan feedback. So I think if you're loud enough about it, and she already at least is in the conversation, and probably will be forever due to the initial data mines and stuff. May happen eventually. Chowder would be cool to see in the game. Yeah, I mean, there's so many Cartoon Network stuff to see. Flapjack. Yeah. Ooh, Pop Genius, do I want Ed or Rolf from Ed and Eddie? Ooh, man. I mean, I'd love Ed, and Eddie as like a 3-in-1. They feel like a good 3-in-1 character. But Rolf would be cool too. Yeah, I don't know. Rolf's a great... I mean, Rolf has so many fighting things. He's like that. Ed, obviously, he's the big dumb brute guy, so he'd be the fighting one. But I kind of like the idea of switching, because you could have Ed as a really strong, like, heavyweight character. Double D is a light, but maybe has a lot of like projectiles and like gadgets and stuff. And then Eddie, could maybe like a trap character. Tries to do a lot of like scam traps or something. And if you were switching between all three of them, or have them all three separate with, Double D as a projectile character, Eddie as a trap user, and Ed is just the bruiser. Yeah, I don't know. I love that in Eddie though, so I'd love to see it. KLK Fanboy, $5 donation. Thank you so much. Hope Ruby could make it into Multiverses, even though WB Discovery shut down Rooster Teeth Studio down. Oh yeah. Or shut Rooster Teeth Studio down. Shut down Rooster Teeth Studio down. Yes, I did just hear about Rooster Teeth shutting down. I will say the Multiverses team did want to get some kind of anime in the game. They were like, yes, it would be cool to get anime in the game in some form. And Ruby is like, the WB owned anime. I watched Dr. Sleep, the like sequel to The Shining movie not too long ago, like within the last year. And I noticed in I forget the girl's name. The main, I don't know if she's the main protagonist, because kind of Danny's the main protagonist. The little girl that's in that movie, in her room, and The Shining's owned by WB, there were Ruby posters in her room. And in my mind, I was instantly thinking, like, WB is all about this, like, in their newer stuff, they want to like cross promote all their stuff. They kind of want this WB universe to happen with like Space Jam 2, and just wanting all their IPs to be recognizably Warner Brothers. So for them to, in a sequel to The Shining, put Ruby in there just to kind of show that she's a modern girl with modern tastes, like anime and stuff like that. But to choose to do Ruby, something that they actually own, and not just either generic anime or something else, made me think, yeah, WB does like to do stuff like that. So I think there's still a possibility that if the Multiverses team asked for it and wanted to do it, I can see WB being cool with it if they were already cool with, or potentially pushed to have it in that, posters in that room in Dr. Sleep. So yeah, I could see Ruby happening for Multiverses. Red versus Blue for Multiverses. I mean, there was talk of Master Chief was something they wanted to get. I don't know if they'll get it or not, but Master Chief was something they wanted to get because they wanted to get something that was like a character that would have been big for Smash, but they wanted to get it first. Like, everybody wanted it for Smash. Well, guess what? Multiverses got it, and they kind of landed on Master Chief as being probably the best bet for that. For doing that, for that kind of character, which I agree probably is the best bet for them doing that kind of character. And I think, was it Xbox or Microsoft, when Multiverses said, like, mic check, coming back or whatever, all this stuff they've been doing the last couple of days or last week, Xbox or Microsoft, I forget which one, commented on their post. A lot of people thought that meant this was going to happen in the that Microsoft presentation that happened earlier in the week. But it could still mean, that Xbox is, has already, maybe they've teamed up with Multiverses in some significant way, like with something with Master Chief. Goku and Walter White, yeah, I mean, those are both big characters to get Goku. See, I've never been a fan of Goku for Smash. I know there's a lot of Dragon Ball Z games, but I just really want to keep Smash Brothers video game characters, like first and foremost characters from video games. It's like Hall of Fame of gaming and video games specifically. So I'd really rather keep Smash that, which seems to be a rule that Sakurai does adhere to and stick to. However, with MultiVersus, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network. Like I said earlier, Tom from Toonami would be so cool. Toonami, in my mind, is a Cartoon Network thing. So Goku, being a crossover character for MultiVersus, I think makes a lot of sense. I'd be cool with that. Also, I guess I should just say it. Very, very sad Akira Toriyama died. That honestly hit me. I was about to go to bed the other night, and I saw it at like 10, 11 o'clock, and I was up until like 3, 4 in the morning, just because I was texting some friends about it. I was looking at Dragon Ball Z stuff online. I was going through like Twitter and Facebook and Discord and just looking at people posting stuff about Akira Toriyama, and like it actually like hit me. Like a lot of times celebrity deaths don't really hit me in that way. Like I'm like, oh, that's a bummer, I love that thing or whatever. But yeah, Akira Toriyama, I was really looking back on just how big Dragon Ball Z and just how big everything he did is, and yeah. But anyway, I would love to get Goku in MultiVersus. Goku's one that I'd love to get. Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street would be cool. Yeah, any horror character. Freddy Krueger would be cool. Jason would be cool. They have a lot of those characters in Mortal Kombat, but MultiVersus, I'd love to get Mortal Kombat characters. I'd love to get horror characters. Obviously, Mortal Kombat owned by WB, so yep, could totally. The umbrella is big enough that MultiVersus covers it. Tony Soprano, yeah. See, I feel like Tony Soprano. Everybody wants Walter White. But I do understand the hang-up of like Walter White is a meth dealer and how that could potentially ruin potential collabs for future things. Something like, I gave the example, maybe Paramount and Nickelodeon and SpongeBob would maybe, think twice about being like, we don't really want SpongeBob directly interacting with Walter White. However, Tony Soprano, while it is a very adult show, being a mob guy, being a gangster guy, sits a little better. I feel like it's hard to escape meth dealer, meth maker. That's a tough one. That just makes a kid go, like, oh, SpongeBob's interacting with Walter. Who's Walter White? Oh, he's a guy who sells meth. What's meth? What's drug? It kind of I don't know. It's a touchy subject. Whereas if you go, oh, he's interacting with Tony Soprano. Who's Tony Soprano? Oh, he's a gangster. He's a criminal. Oh, okay. Kids know. It doesn't instant. Even though you wouldn't want a kid watching The Sopranos. Just who he isn't instantly like, yeah, we shouldn't have that. It doesn't instantly lead to touchy subject talk. Yeah, Saul Goodman. Saul Goodman would, I think, be easier than Walter White, because you have Saul in, and it's like, oh, who is he? Oh, he's from the show about a lawyer. He's a lawyer. Okay, you don't have to get into the nitty gritty of exactly what's going on. Whereas with Walter White, it's really hard to escape. What does he do? He's a chemistry teacher, turned drug dealing meth maker. Like, you can't escape that as like his title, like, the baseline of what he is. Jay from Lego Ninjago. Yeah, I'd love to see some Lego stuff. Lego in MultiVersus would be really cool. So yeah, definitely would love to see that. I think we get a playtest for the month of April to launch. Yeah, maybe. Like, I feel like the open beta was the playtest, and you can play the game. Like, I think as long as you have it downloaded, you can still play the game. It's just not online or anything. As far as I know, I really haven't played it offline, to be honest. But I think you can still play it. But yeah. Game of Thrones is an adult show, so they could 100% do Breaking Bad. Yes, totally. So Game of Thrones has gore, nudity, everything you can think of that could be in a TV show that is not for kids. Game of Thrones has, and we have Arya. However, again, who's Arya? Oh, she's this sword-fighting assassin girl from like a medieval fantasy world called Game of Thrones. It doesn't immediately, cause problems. I think that's the problem with Walter White, is that he has drug dealer just is attached to him. Again, I think Saul Goodman is probably an easier rep to do because he's just a lawyer. The lawyer doesn't have that connotation. Yeah, you can do like training mode. Yeah, if it's downloaded, you can do like training mode. But not really much else. Does WB own Popeye? Oh, if they do, yeah, Popeye would be great. I definitely want. Everybody talks about Looney Tunes characters, and everybody talks about Cartoon Network characters, and then Looney Tunes characters. I feel like the Hanna-Barbera stuff is like third tier down for cartoon stuff. People want, and I would love to get some more Hanna-Barbera stuff. Fred Flintstone, be cool, stuff like that. So. Yeah, it's such a wide umbrella. It's the game's biggest strength, and I also think its biggest weakness is that it has so much stuff, and it's like I want to see. It's so hard to be like I would love to see Powerpuff Girls, and I also really want to see Gandalf, and I also really want to see the Joker, and I also really want to see Fred Flintstone. I also really want to see like Animaniacs. Like there's so many pools of things, and it's like. How much time am I going to have to wait to get all this stuff? Let alone stuff from specific things. Like, I want to see Marceline from Adventure Time specifically. I know some people want specific Steven Universe characters. And it's like, yeah, I want to see another Steven Universe character, but at the same time, if we get another Steven Universe character, could that have been Courage the Cowardly Dog instead? Could there have been a different Cartoon Network character? Could we have gotten a whole new show? Johnny Quest. Oh, Johnny Quest would be amazing. Yeah, so MultiVersus has the potential is amazing. If the game really does land on its feet and at least just gets going to the point where it can just have a steady pace of content coming out and a decent fan base looking at it and sticking with it, it has such potential, so much potential for years to come of all the cool stuff it could have. Yeah, Scooby is his own character. We don't have Scooby yet. So much. Brock Sampson, yeah. I would, dude. Some Adult Swim reps could be amazing, just amazing. Aqua Teen Hunger Force stuff, Master Shake, or all three of them, or however they do it, could be amazing. Do you think the proposed Paramount merger would have helped or hurt this game? I don't know. I have no idea. That's a tough. It's always tough to know. You know. The behind the scenes stuff, what prevents things from happening, or what would like make things better. I don't know. Nathan Explosion, yeah, Nathan Explosion would be great. Yeah, but like it's so hard to like we can talk about Adult Swim and all the shows you'd like to see, let alone specific shows and multiple characters you'd like to see. So it's like talking about Ed, and Eddie earlier. It's like I would love to see Ed, and Eddie, but do you do Ed, Eddie, and Ed? Do you do them as 3 separate characters, and then it takes 3 character reveals and announcements and getting in the games to get all 3 of them separately? While I'm sitting here waiting for Adult Swim characters, waiting for Looney Tunes characters, like we're still waiting for Daffy Duck or something. Like, it's both. Again, I think it's the game's biggest strength and its biggest weakness at the same time. Is just how many things it can pull from. But I also do think that if the game does land on its feet and it does have a steady player base and lasts for a long time, like 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, you're going to have a roster that is the size of, a Smash game, full of characters. And at that point, it's going to be way more likely that a more obscure character that you want, because we're not still waiting for Daffy Duck at that point. We're not still waiting for Powerpuff Girls. We're not still waiting for Joker and Robin, so more obscure things that maybe just sound like a cool idea can start coming out, because we've covered, like, once DC has its base, once Cartoon Network has its base, once Looney Tunes has its base, then the more obscure, interesting stuff can start trickling in. Or just a character, if a fan base has a character and they really want it and they push for it, the team might actually listen to that fan base. And not that they're not listening to that fan base, but they're almost certainly going to start listening to fan bases, because it's going to be like, all right, we're kind of running out of characters that are obvious to do, and we need to know who the people want. That's the hope. If the game lands on its feet and it does do well, the hope is it really works out. Spear and Fang from Primal, yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah, I mean we're getting Samurai Jack, so. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I could sit here talking about MultiVerses all day long. But yeah, we gotta wait. So hopefully we'll start getting stuff coming out on Twitter and stuff like that up until May 28th. Maybe they'll even do some character reveals. Maybe they'll start showing stages and stuff. Maybe little things will trickle out over time. I mean, people were a little disappointed there were no character reveals here, but we got Powerpuff Girls and Dexter stages, plus an Animaniacs stage. I mean, we knew about the Water Tower stage, but here you go, confirmed. There's some Animaniacs stuff. Saw Dexter stuff. Saw Powerpuff Girls stuff. So, again, maybe over the next couple months, that could continue. Maybe we'll get some art of a new stage. Maybe they'll do a character reveal. Maybe we'll get just little things here and there, and it'll just slowly trickle out. And we'll have a lot to talk about. We'll be able to do speculating for Multiverses again, really build up the hype. So I'm happy to do content for Multiverses. Going forward, probably be the main thing. Once again, to do content for in the lead up and relaunch and everything. So yeah, Captain Planet. Yeah. Captain Planet was in Punch Time Explosion as kind of like the guest character for that Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion game. So totally possible for Multiverses. Before I go, any new updates on the issue with Lord of the Rings? I'm trying to remember the specifics here. The rights, Lord of the Rings rights is really weird because I think there's the book rights and there's the movie rights and like Amazon's doing Rings of Power, but the original movie rights I think are somewhere else, and the book right is with like the Tolkien estate, and like the Silmarillion is different than the Hobbit and Fellowship, Two Towers, and Return of the King. But last I heard, specifically for WB stuff, WB put out like I think it was like a box set DVD thing for the movies or something like that. And this was after the other company buying the rights. So it seemed like WB made a deal with the other company to use Lord of the Rings stuff still. I think it seems like it's pretty much open. I don't know that for sure. Hopefully that is the case. And hopefully we get Lord of the Rings stuff in the relaunch or return of Multiverses. I don't know if we'll get it right in the relaunch. I do suspect a deal will be made at some point to use Lord of the Rings stuff in Multiverses. What that's going to look like, I don't know. But I don't think it is gone. I don't think Multiverses not having Lord of the Rings stuff is just where we're at. I think it's going to be just whenever they get around to negotiating it, whatever, blah blah blah. Because WB I think already used something. Again, it was a while ago, but WB put out something Lord of the Rings with the WB label on it, and this was after that other company bought it. So they made some deal to do that. So I'm sure they can make some deal for Multiverses. Feel like it'll happen. Okay, all right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Pretty cool that we got Powerpuff Girls, the Mayor Town Hall stage, Dexter's Laboratory stage, and the Water Tower stage we've now seen, and it does have the Pinky and the Brain balloons, like I was saying it does. So it has some Animaniacs stuff. We will see. May 28th. 2 months, a little longer than I wanted to wait, but hopefully there'll be a lot of hype stuff from here until then. I'll be covering it. Happy to have Multiverses back. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later.